Joyce with Hyundai Product PR. We've got an awesome day planned for you. You should have a lot of fun. Before we get into the little bit of a corporate overview and a product presentation, that should be very informative. A little spill there. I did want to just mention one thing about the drive that I noticed, and again, I'm a Californian, so please forgive that, but you know, right on the edge of the road, there's a lot of drainage ditches on this route. Just be aware, many of you are locals, so you're going to be very familiar with this type of road, but I did notice that the drainage ditches come right up to the edge of the road. A lot of places, if you're looking down for even a half a second, you can easily put a wheel in one of these ditches. So just be aware of that. Just pay attention during the drive. It's got a lot of rolling hills and turns. It's going to keep you very alert, so hopefully that won't be an issue for us today. So let me just go a little bit into our corporate success this year. Just a few slides for you. It's been our fastest start ever for Hyundai in 2013. We're up about 0.5% in terms of our sales for the first quarter, so we've been real happy with that. In addition to this, our average transaction prices are $23,070, and this is up $539 this year versus a year ago, about 2.4% increase. So we're real happy with the volume we're selling, but we're also happy about the mix. We're selling a nice rich mix of vehicles for Hyundai, and again, of course, that adds to profitability. In addition, our brand average days to turn is at 40 days. This is the third lowest among non-premium brands. For comparison's sake, Subaru, one of the lowest in the industry, is at 35 days. They have a very simple lineup, and Kia is at 36 days, and industry average is at 59 days. So when our Hyundais are getting on the lot, they're not sitting there very long, they're turning very quickly. And so we've got great customer demand. Another area we've experienced great success this year and recent years is residual values. And we are now second highest among mainstream brands in terms of residual values. We're very proud of that. Just take a look at just 2011, just a couple short years ago. We were at 47.5% average residual value, and we've moved up to 53.2%. So most importantly to us, look at the rank. Hyundai is number 2, right behind Honda in terms of average residual value among not mainstream brands. So real proud of that achievement in 2013. And one other thing, big news for us actually in the area of telematics. Beginning this month, May 16th, we're adding a key component to our Hyundai Assurance Connected Care package. Hyundai Assurance Connected Care is one of the key pillars of our overall assurance protection for customers. It includes America's Best Warranty. That's something that's been around for about a decade or so with Hyundai. It's been a real success for us. Customers really appreciate that. In addition, we offer 24/7 roadside assistance on all Hyundais. And Assurance Connected Care is standard now for 3 years for free on every Hyundai vehicle beginning May 16th. And Assurance Connected Care has 2 primary components: a safety component, your automatic collision notification, your SOS emergency assistance, and your enhanced roadside assistance. In addition, there's a car care component to Assurance Connected Care. Those are things like the monthly vehicle health report that's sent to your email inbox or possibly a text. Service Link, which is a facility for scheduling appointments and giving you information about your vehicle, and Vehicle Diagnostics Code Alert, which might alert you to any potential issue that's going on with your vehicle immediately and electronically. So we really enhanced Assurance Connected Care. It's a big priority for Hyundai, and we're just proud to offer that to our customers at no additional charge, again, beginning May 16th. So with that, that concludes the corporate section. And I'm going to bring up John Sean. He's going to tell you all about the Santa Fe and the Sonata Hybrid.
Thank you very much, Eric. Morning, everyone.
Good morning, John.
So, first off, I just want to talk about the Sonata Hybrid for the 2013 model year. We made some enhancements to the vehicle. When we first launched it as a 2011 model year, we had a very differentiated hybrid design. So, versus the gasoline model, we have front and rear fascia differences, along with illumination differences, LED headlight accents, LED taillights. In addition, the model has been fairly successful for us. So for 2013, so for the first 4 months of the 3 months of the year, Sonata Hybrid accounts for about 9% of all Sonata sales. Compare that with Camry, that's at about 12%. Fusion, with their all-new model, has really increased their hybrid mix from 6 to 13%, and Optima does about 8% sales. But more importantly, mid-size hybrid sedan, what it does is it brings in new people that normally wouldn't have considered a mid-size sedan. For example, if we look at the demographics, we can see the Sonata Hybrid tends to skew more male. Similar age, but much higher education levels and much higher median household income at $95,000. So if you compare that against the gasoline model, that comes in at about $78,000 average household income. What it shows is these people normally would not have considered a mid-size gasoline traditional sedan. For the 2013 model year, it's been updated. The Sonata Hybrid's been updated with new wheel designs and improved fuel economy. We had a lot of input from the field and from journalists about the appearance of both the 16 and 17-inch alloy wheels. And for the 2013 model year, the design has been revised. It's more of a turbine look, more angular in its appearance, a little bit more upscale as well. Fuel economy has improved. So the city fuel economy goes up from 34 to 36. Highway goes from 39 to 40, and combined fuel economy goes from 36 to 38 miles per gallon. And also the starting MSRP of the Sonata Hybrid is $25,650, and fully spec'd with all the bells and whistles, it goes up to $31,550. But our key engineering targets for the 2013 model year was overall drivability improvement. So our engineers, what they were really focused on was refining the powertrain. That includes improved hybrid system clutch control for a quicker and more stable operation. They tuned the throttle response, so now you get more kind of low-end response and more linear in this acceleration curve. Regenerative braking has been optimized. It's now a more linear feel, so regen isn't as aggressive as the 2011 or 2012 model years. And automatic transmission fluid warm-up control logic has been revised for better cold weather performance. If you look at the technical specs on what's changed, the 2.4 liter gasoline engine. So before I go into more detail, I just want to say, system-wise, it's exactly the same as it is. A lot of it is just refinement in its calibration and tuning logic. So the 2.4 liter gasoline engine has been detuned slightly from 166 to 159 horsepower, but what this does is it gives you more low-end drivability. So more kind of under the curve where you're normally driving RPM ranges, it has better performance. The electric motor has been increased from 30 to 35 kilowatt, and the net power goes from 206 horsepower to 199. The hybrid starter generator, so the capacity of the hybrid starter generator and the max output that it can produce stays the same at 8.5 kilowatt, but the continuous, so this is what from a standstill when the vehicle starts in electric mode, the continuous power delivery increased from 6.4 to 8 kilowatts. The battery system output has been increased. This is through logic, discharge logic. It goes from 34 kilowatts to 47 kilowatts. And the cargo capacity. So what we did was revise the trunk battery area. And so the cargo capacity goes from 10.7 cubic feet to 12.1 cubic feet. And of course, we talked a little bit about the fuel economy improvements. And Hyundai is going to continue to offer an industry-exclusive hybrid lifetime battery warranty on the 2013 model year. If you look at the chart on the table on the right, what that shows is the rejection reasons. So these are people that actively shopped a mid-size hybrid sedan, but ultimately decided to buy something else. If you look at the rejection reasons, of course, cost and they don't see the benefits of a hybrid are the top two reasons. But within that top 10 rejection reasons, you see battery cost and maintenance concerns as being one of the reasons why they did not purchase a hybrid. So what we really want to do is kind of keeping a theme with our America's Best warranty, which includes our powertrain and new vehicle warranty. We wanted to offer an industry-exclusive lifetime hybrid battery replacement warranty as well. With that, I'll go into the Santa Fe. Just a real brief background on the Santa Fe. We launched the Santa Fe Sport Trim back in August of last year. So if you look at full months of sales, it's been about 7 full months of sales that it's been out on the market. Sales have increased, retail sales. So retail sales are what's sold at dealerships and do not include government agency sales or rental agency sales. Sales are up 38%, and you compare that to some of those main competitors such as Edge, Equinox, Venza, and Sorento, and we have by far the largest increase. And also what that translates into is a larger retail segment market share. So our share is right around 7% after we launched the all-new model, and it's been trending upwards. But not only are our sales up, our transaction price is up 11% to about $29,200. Transaction price, let me just explain this chart real quickly. So the blue is the transaction price. Transaction price being the price people paid at the dealership for their particular vehicle. The gray bar is the average MSRP of this vehicle at dealerships. So when you see 95.7 for Santa Fe, that means customers paid 95.7% of the vehicle's MSRP at the dealership level. So what that indicates is demand, people's willingness to pay for this vehicle. Whereas if you have the Edge, which has a fairly high transaction price at nearly $33,000, it's at a significant discount because the MSRP on that is significantly higher. So they're paying about 89% of what the MSRP is. So our 11% increase in transaction price, as you can see, exceeds our competitive set, and also our days to turn. So this is how long a vehicle sits at a dealership before it's sold to a customer. At 20 days, it's by far the shortest among its competitors, and that's indicative of customer demand for this particular vehicle. And also 58% of all Santa Fe sales are new to the Hyundai brand. So these are what we call conquest sales. So they replaced the vehicle with the Santa Fe, but what they replaced was a different make. So 58% of people that bought a Santa Fe came from a different OEM, and which is a very good rate for us. If you look at a vehicle like the Equinox in this example, about 38% of their buyers are conquest sales, meaning that the majority are coming from within the GM brand. And also people cross-shopping this vehicle. CRV, I want to mention, is the #1 selling CUV in the United States, so everyone's going to cross-shop, just like everyone that looks for a mainstream car cross-shops a Camry. But Sorento and Edge are its key competitors in terms of what people that bought a Santa Fe also consider. And if we look at the buyer demographics, just real quickly, it's very similar to the Ford Edge and the Toyota Venza in terms of buyer age, in terms of education level, and median household income. You can see at about $84,000, the Santa Fe buyers are more affluent than the Equinox and the Sorento buyers, and on similar levels with the Edge and Venza. Just taking a step back real quickly, at Hyundai, especially at product planning, what we're really trying to do is look at how much market coverage we are getting with our CUV models. And we segment it very simply. We look at it as pre-family, family, and post-family buyers. So pre-family obviously are singles, couples. Family is families with children in their household. And post-family is maybe older that had children, that had a family, but the children kind of left the house for college or as they grew up. So,
do you know why the demographic is so old? I mean, you look at the design and it's a younger looking brand. Do you have any insights on that?
You know, that's a great question. The U.S. makeup is the baby boomers hold the majority of the wealth, and they're the ones purchasing new vehicles. So just on the next slide, I'll show you kind of how old the industry really is in terms of post-family buyers. So let's get to that right now, actually. So if you look at the percentage of new car buyers by life stage, so this is on a brand level for Hyundai and some of the other OEMs out there. Let's just look at Ford, for example. 56% of all their buyers are post-family, so they are older. 22% are in the family life stage with kids in the household, and 22% are pre-family, so singles, couples. And that's kind of indicative of the entire industry, actually, if you look at it. So why do U.S. buyers tend to be old? It's just the demographic makeup. Number one is the fact that maybe Gen Y hasn't had as much opportunity economically as the previous generations have. But this will shift eventually. But it's just indicative of the entire industry in general.
It seems, I understand your point, but it seems that Gen Y would be the perfect category because they don't have any capacity. You take the Santa Fe Sport, for example, it's a smaller version.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that would be more of an attractive target to a younger demographic versus an older demographic. So I'm a little confused with.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
logic here.
So, we have our Tucson, which is our subcompact CUV model that comes in at a lower entry price. So if you look at the buyer data for that particular model, 29% of all its buyers are in the pre-family life stage. Compare that with the Santa Fe Sport, where only 13% are in the pre-family life stage and 71% are in their post-family life stage. So a lot of that has to do with vehicle design in itself. Like you said, Santa Fe Sport is dynamic in its appearance, especially against its competitors. But just the overall size, people in their pre-family life stage are looking for maybe something a little bit smaller, a little bit more economic in terms of starting price. Tucson's been more successful for us in helping reach out to the pre-family buyers. And the Santa Fe data that you see here, we use the Veracruz, which is our outgoing 7-passenger model, as a proxy. So not surprisingly, pre-family buyers for that particular model is pretty low. It does fairly well with families at 31%, but post-family, again, they're the majority of all vehicle sales.
In your packaging, just on that conversation, in your plan, is there a noticeable difference in what you package for the post-family and the pre-family? Like, how much of a difference is it in what you're packaging into the offerings of the car?
Content-wise, there's not a whole lot of difference between the Santa Fe Sport and the Santa Fe. It's exactly the same model. It's one model in 3 trim levels, which I'll get into shortly.
What is QRD on the previous slide?
Quality, reliability, durability.
Okay.
So it's just a measure of quality. So for Hyundai, what we noticed was there's an opportunity for us to kind of expand our reach to families with children. Currently, only about 21% of all buyers are in the family life stage, compared with 25% for Toyota, 20% for Honda. And particular models do especially well. If you look at the CX-9, the Mazda CX-9, 53% of its buyers are in the family life stage. Pilot, Highlander, they all do well with families. So we find with the Santa Fe that you'll be evaluating today, there's an opportunity for us to expand our market reach. A little bit of the background on the Santa Fe model in itself. Our first generation launched back in 2000, and it was a runaway success for us. It far exceeded all our internal sales expectations, and it was the first vehicle to sell 100,000 units a year. And the second generation that launched in 2006, we had very sleek design and class-leading safety features. And with this third generation, what we're trying to do is increase the vehicle's market reach with a 2-wheelbase strategy, bold design, and new powertrains. So I get asked this very frequently, is what is the difference between Santa Fe Sport and Santa Fe? Very simply, it is one model. It is Santa Fe, and it's offered in 3 different trim configurations. You have your Sport, which is a 5-passenger, a GLS, which is a 7-passenger model, and a Limited, which is a 6-passenger model. We call it Limited because the second row has individual captain's chairs, which is a more premium feature than traditional bench seats. From a vehicle exterior dimension standpoint, the length is 8.5 inches longer on the GLS Unlimited. The wheelbase has been increased by 3.9 inches. And passenger volume, so usable passenger volume, has been increased by 38.6 cubic feet. In addition, the powertrain offered on this GLS Unlimited is only one option available. It's a 3.3-liter GDI V6. Horsepower is rated at 290 horsepower and standard 5,000 pounds of towing. This kind of helps us understand a little better on the CUV segment that I've been talking about. So we have the subcompact CUV segment. That's where our Tucson kind of competes against. So those are models such as the CRV, CX-5, and RAV4. In the compact CUV segment, we have the Santa Fe Sport along with the Edge, Equinox in terms of vehicle dimensions. And in the midsize CUV, we have our Santa Fe, which is similarly sized to the Pilot, Highlander, and Pathfinder. There's a segment above this that we call a large CUV, and those are like the GM Lambda trio, such as the Buick Enclave, Chevrolet Traverse, and also the Ford Flex will kind of be in that segment above. But what having one Santa Fe model in 2 configurations allows us to do, we can straddle both segments. We can compete in both segments, both the compact and the midsize CUV segment, with just one model. The primary competitors for this Santa Fe GLS Unlimited is the Pilot, the Highlander, and Pathfinder. What we call secondary competitors, because they tend to be a little bit larger, is the Ford Explorer and the Mazda CX-9. Just a little bit on the powertrain itself. It's the same engine that's found in our current Hyundai Azera.